Hello and welcome to another episode of Chopping Onions. Today we are gonna make croquetas. Deep fried bechamel bites considered comfort food in Spain. This dish brings joy to the family and friends, but is also the source of the most common of the fights about who makes the best ones, although everyone will give you the same answer. Their grandma does. Let's start, shall we? We start by finely chopping an onion. This is going to be the base of our roux, along with the flour, the butter and the ingredient of choice for the croquetas. If you feel lazy today, just use a food processor. Now we're gonna cut some chorizo, that is the ingredient of choice for the first batch of croquetas. You need to find the raw chorizo. The chorizo that they sell packed in slices is not the one that you want to use here. They also sell the chorizo already in chunks. You can use that as well. You can remove the skin of the chorizo as well. It's gonna end up being cooked and you won't notice it, but too much of it can make the texture a little bit chewy. Now we start cooking our ingredients. We take a deep frying pan, add a splash of extra virgin olive oil and put it on a medium-high heat. We add a big chunk of butter and wait until it melts before adding the onion. We saute the onion, but just a little bit until it gets some color. And then we add the main ingredient, that is chorizo for this batch. Chorizo in itself releases a lot of fat, so for all the less fatty ingredients, you might need to adjust the quantity of butter that you are using. Look how the onion soaks all the flavors released by the chorizo. I can tell you that the smell of that smoked paprika with the caramelizing onion is just heaven on earth. And now it is the time for the flour. At this point we've got what is called a roux or a roux, pardon my French. Let me stress how important it is to add the ingredient of choice before adding the liquid. That way you don't only get the texture of that ingredient, but the whole croqueta gets the flavor of it. What we have to do now is incorporate the milk. The key here, like with any other bechamel, is to do it little by little, with patience. If we do it like that, we will have a very smooth result, with no lumps. It is quite simple. Add a bit of milk, stir until the consistency of the mixture is homogeneous, then repeat until you've added all the milk. After a few of these repetitions, we get this thick mixture. We taste just to see if it needs salt, and we add extra if needed. We finish it by just adding nutmeg and black pepper. Gosh, I will just eat this with a spoon. We now let our mixture cool for a couple of hours. And we are back for the breadcrumb coating process. We start by whisking the eggs, pinch of salt, and give it a proper whisk. And now, with the help of 2 spoons or simply with your bare hands, we take portions of our already cool mixture. We dunk it in the egg mixture, and lastly we cover them in breadcrumbs, trying to give them the shape of a croquette, that is like small cylinder. And yes, you've guessed right, we need to repeat this until we finish with all our mixture. Deep frying time! We set our oil to a temperature of around 170-180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. We want it to be hot, but we don't want any smoke coming out of the oil. We fry for a couple of minutes, rotating the croquetas so they cook evenly, and then we take them out. And voila! These are our chorizo croquetas. Let's make a batch with another different flavor now. Mushroom and chicken go well together. But let's speed it up. Let's now chop our ingredients, the mushroom, the onion and the chicken. I'm using leftover chicken. And again we add the butter, saute the onion along with the main ingredient, the flour. And on this batch, just to boost the chicken flavor, we are gonna add some stock before we add the milk. That we incorporate in little steps until we get this thick mixture. Coat them with the breadcrumbs. Deep fry them. Take them out, and yet we have another flavor of croquetas. I strongly encourage you to be creative and choose another main ingredient. If you do, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the subscribe button. You can find all the ingredients in the description below. Cheerio!